You know
All
how
right.
to do this.
All right. Well, we're going. We're live. We're real. We're real. We're real. We're real. We're real. We're not. We're real people. God, gosh,
Yeah,
darn it. We're real.
yeah, this feels. Yeah. Let's keep it real.
We're we are real. We're literal real people. We're real live. How you doing, George?
Ah, doing all right. How you doing, Dez?
Yes, that's me. I'm fine. The lot of running around in a crunch. I drank too much yesterday, and so I didn't sleep last night, and then I had a whole lot to do today,
Oh yeah.
and so I've just sort of been on the go. You know, that's me today.
I
Just
remember. I remember the old school episodes. We used to have a segment where we talk about what we were drinking, but now we've kind of gotten more healthy. It's more rare. But
well,
finally, we can ask the question again. The audience has been dying to know
oh sure.
what you've been drinking, like Uzo.
No, Uzo. And the main difference, you have specifically been healthier, I'm sure, health nut, but I just haven't been drinking in the studio lately, or at least not when we're on camera recording. Let's see, what I have. I think so. I started with two steins of IPA. Don't they say if I had two steins, is that four drinks or is that just like two really big drinks? You know how they say that is.
Well, I consider a drink of beer to be 12 ounces, right?
Yeah,
That's how much is in this can. How many ounces does a stein hold?
24. So that's like a pint compared to the uh, Stein glass. The Stein is the big mug.
So it's 24, it holds 24 ounces.
I believe so. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I think so.
Okay, 24 ounces, that's two drinks. A pint is 16 ounces,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's I'm uh just doing a brief meditation on the subject, and
Which
and yeah, no, the Stein is two pints. Uh, how many?
so that's like what was it, two pints? That's 32 ounces. So that's about two and two-thirds of a drink.
Okay, well, whatever. So I had a couple steins of IPA, and then there was a blonde wheat beer that was more than you know how some things will come in those bottles where it's like twice the size of a normal bottle.
The tall boy?
Yeah, you got your
Yeah.
tall boy, and then you can get these bottles that are like fat. They're like the height of tall
Oh
boys,
yeah.
maybe a little taller, but they're twice as wide.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're usually 20, like 32 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I had a couple of those. It was a blonde ale, I think, and then I had Blue Moon. I think I just had one of those, but I don't know.
Blue Moon, that's a little pedestrian for your taste, isn't it?
I I, I
A little
think
mainstream.
Blue Moon is perfectly fine. It's a league above sort of the real cheap pasteurized beer, which you know no offense to anyone who does, but I just don't enjoy them. But I'll take a Blue Moon if it's there.
Blue Moon's not pasteurized?
Maybe it is. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That wouldn't be so surprising.
I mean, what was it? You don't even like Bush Lights?
Uh, no, I don't believe so. No.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't think
Apparently
I've
it's
had
they
Bush
say
Light.
there's no better feeling than mowing your lawn in some like, Wisconsin suburb drinking a Bush Light. It's
Well,
like one of the peak experiences out there.
yeah, yeah. I envy that so badly. Um, I don't do any lawn mowing, as you know. Sneaking in here as you do, seeing me uh, curled up, snoozing under the switchboard. So my living arrangement is not so glamorous as to accommodate a lawn, but I did find a Canadian quarter yesterday in the dirt.
Oh, that's quite international. Even
Yeah, thank you.
is it has the Canadian dollar achieved parity with the American dollar yet?
No, I don't believe so. I think the U.S. dollar is still, you know, pretty strong despite what we're dealing with now. Um, but yeah, we're still the standard. I bought things from Canada before. I don't think the Canadian dollar is too far off uh, the American dollar, but I can't recall offhand. But I think they're pretty close.
Yeah, I got a life hack for you, and this
I
is
am
also
in
for
need. You what?
yeah, this and also the listeners, you can take notes.
Oh yeah.
Uh, if you pay if you have to if you go to a laundromat that takes quarters, you can save a little money by using Canadian quarters instead of American quarters.
You could, but you won't because it's illegal, and we would never encourage you to commit a crime. We would encourage,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, no, we would encourage you to behave in a moral, civic manner, and that hypothetical was for literary purposes.
Yeah, that was actually I was that was not something I was actually not speaking as myself. I was speaking as an immoral character.
Yeah, which
That was like I was playing a character. That was not me talking.
no,
Imagine if this was like the Godfather,
you're
you know.
yeah, yeah,
This is like
which is a movie.
yeah, you wouldn't say Marlon Brando wasn't you wouldn't say Marlon Brando was actually a mob boss, right? So it's kind of the same situation.
Yeah, yeah. So straighten up and fly right, you guys.
Yeah, but let's get back into character though. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no.
yeah.
Paragons of virtue.
So so if one were to do that, it's also would be a great way to save money is to convert all your small change into Canadian currency, and then when you're paying for things, sprinkle in a few Canadian nickels here and there, that way you can slip it past the cashier, and then over time you'd have like saved I don't know, like a few cents a year.
Uh, no, yeah, no, no, no. I think your real life hack is that if you live near the Canadian border, you ought to just do your grocery shopping over there.
Oh yeah. Character so now end scene.
Oh,
So I'm
oh,
not
oh,
in character.
well done,
And
well
end
done,
scene. So
well done.
yeah. But so the way the way rates work, if you have a stronger currency, you actually save money taking someplace with a weaker currency, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Uh,
because I hear a lot of people go like a lot of people go to different countries. Like for a while, people were coming from England to America to take advantage of this exchange rate and shop. Like how does that work?
I think different things have different values. So uh, I don't know. This is just a for instance. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think generally your living expenses. Uh, no, Canada is not a good example. I think with like Japan. Um, oh, I don't know. Some things are more expensive and some things are less expensive, so it's not like a direct one to one. Uh,
Yeah.
and then some things are going to be subsidized, so cheaper than they would normally be. um I think it's generally, depending on where you are, easier to live in I think Canada. They have a comparable style of living, but uh it's generally less expensive, I think. And then I think maybe some, like, living in some of their bigger cities might be more expensive in places.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, like Vancouver and Toronto, it's average home is $1 million out there.
yeah, yeah. So it's probably like living in LA or San Francisco or something like that, but outside of the cities, and then other aspects of living. I know, like, people will retire in places in South Central America, Asia, maybe
Oh,
some places in Europe, but Europe is
probably
generally
have
more expensive.
like Spain. I think
Yeah,
I think people retire in Spain probably,
I
or
think I've heard of
Portugal.
people retiring in Portugal. So there are
Yeah.
places in Europe that are comparable styles of living generally, but just aren't as expensive. Uh, I, I don't know. I don't know. I know some places are a lot more expensive. I, I I don't know.
But yeah, how far would you go to like save money? Have you seen this show called Extreme Cheapskates?
I uh, if I've heard of that show, I've forgotten.
Oh, but you can pretty much tell from the title what it's about, right?
Yeah, yeah. People go into crazy extremes to save a buck, coupon clipping and things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's this one lady on there. She, like, what she did?
No.
She the oh man. She, like, when she
Oh,
do the
this
laundry.
is gonna be good.
Oh, I think you might want to take notes.
All
When
right.
she did the she when she does the laundry, after she dries her clothes, she'll save the lint, and she'd use that to, like, remove like nail polish, like basically the same way you the same purpose as a cotton ball. And then
Lint.
she this other lint, yeah, dryer lint, yeah, she'd
That's
use it to, like, remove makeup on her face.
yeah. Yeah,
And I think this,
you what?
yeah, go ahead.
No, I've done a little research as I wanted to on dryer lint, and I found that it doesn't make very good fabric for or a substance for making fabric out of. You can't make quality clothes generally out of dryer lint. It is not something that is easy to reuse.
With dryer lint, I'd have thought you could probably make felt out of it.
I don't know. I mean, you could probably do some kind of a weak fabric, but something that I read a while back that comes to mind indicates that you couldn't really make good clothing out of dryer lint.
So the fact that you've done research on dryer lint makes me suspicious. Like, well, not suspicious. Is like, so you think, yeah, you're not the, like, so this is a common thing. People, like, cheapskates think like dryer lint is this, like, untapped resource. and you
Well,
can't come to that idea yourself.
well, yeah, no. I mean, I will look at things that will be wasted, and look into how they might be repurposed. I compost organic plant waste, um, instead of just throwing it out. I guess like the rot uh, gets stuck in pockets, and rots and in landfills, and then if it gets uncovered, it just sort of releases uh, big spurts of um, carbon into the air or something. I haven't looked into anything like that in a bit, but I'll compost. One thing that I would like to do is they have these things, and I forget what it's called, but it is a way to capture the water that comes out of your washing machine. Uh,
Oh, they
like
call it the gray water, right?
yeah. You can capture gray water from your washing machine and just use it. And if you like wash your clothes in vinegar instead of detergents, then that would be, I think, viable water, and you could water plants with it.
Yeah, a big, we could also flush your toilets with it.
Yeah, but if you use things that have too much waste in it, certainly human waste, but like even food waste, it uh like, and with meat, I've heard the same reason you don't want to compost meat. If you put too much filth out there, it'll rot. You'd probably get you know goop growing and eating whatever you put the water on. But you could do it with, I think, if you washed your clothes and you didn't wash it with detergent, instead you washed it with vinegar, which I've done, um, you'd be able to collect the water and use it on plants. I'm just combining two things in my head, because I actually don't know if the vinegar would disperse enough, and you'd want to use more than just water washing your clothes. So maybe
I've
maybe
actually I've used the vinegar based detergent before. Did not like it because it's like vinegar based detergent with a lemon scent.
it's the
Like
lemon scent that was the
my
problem.
clothes. I don't know, the clothes came out smelling weird.
Yeah,
You
I know, that
know,
was the lemon scent. I
smell
I
smell like
never buy
no.
scented detergent.
Yeah, I mean, it was not the lemon scent. It was the vinegar smell. Smelled like I, was it spilled vinegar on myself. But it was like
I
like a very subtle
Yeah,
vinegar smell, but it drove me crazy.
really. I say
The
I
the
hate
lemon helped
perfume.
cover it up.
No, so
Oh, I love perfumes.
I hate the artificial scents that we put in soap. I don't like it at all. And when I'm buying the soap, detergent for the clothes, I either get something that is non-scented, or I have just used vinegar and it's washed out. It's been scentless, and vinegar is a pretty good cleaner. You can use it for your dishes too, and if you've got a dishwasher.
Well, who loved perfumes was an artificial scents was Kurt Cobain.
Oh, well,
That song "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
I do. I know that song.
It's not about actual, it's not about like the abstract concept of teen spirit. It's about the very real product called Teen Spirit, which was an antiperspirant.
But that's interesting, because Teen Spirit does sound like anti-perspirant, but it'd still be a little bit abstract. Load up on guns, bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. Uh, uh, what else have find it hard? It's hard to find. Well, whatever. Never mind. That's not clearly about a synthetic smell.
Well, it was inspired by a deodorant commercial,
Oh
but
yeah.
You know what his favorite book was?
The what?
Perfume.
Oh yeah, I know. I think I've heard that. You might have told me that. I think didn't I give you a
Yeah.
copy of that movie?
Yeah, you gave me a copy of the movie. It's a really good movie. It's really good cinematography. It's like a perfume commercial
Yeah,
at some parts, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he had a song about that book called Scentless Apprentice, you
yeah.
know.
I know that tune. I don't know. If you like the perfume, good on it. I
Yeah,
prefer to be scentless.
I think it's a sign of a high intelligence because scent is kind of it's another stimulus for your mind. You know what I'm saying? So the more intelligent you are, the more stimulation your mind requires, and scent is just another aspect of that.
I
You know,
have
and
nothing
so the
against
less
scent.
intelligent, the less intelligent they get confused by scent. You
Well,
know what I'm saying? Because
uh,
it's too much going on that they can't process it.
no, I like scent just fine. I like being out in nature or among food or uh there are certain very pleasant and pleasurable smells. I just personally don't like to have a smell as much as I can help. Um, I don't enjoy the synthetic uh, smells that come with soaps and detergents. I prefer things that don't smell, not because I don't enjoy smells, but because I don't enjoy those smells, and I don't like to carry around on me like an air of candy that I'm constantly having to be exposed to. I would just rather not have a smell.
You know who didn't have a smell was Adrian Monk from that show Monk. You ever seen that show?
Yeah, not in a while. Was that one of his things too? He hated
Well, he was
distracting
a
smells.
germaphobe.
Yeah,
He was an extreme germaphobe, and like one episode, he was like in prison for some reason, and he escaped. But since he was so clean, he had no smell, so the dogs couldn't track him.
well that doesn't seem realistic.
Well, well, it seems like an ideal you'd like to strive for, right?
Uh, Honestly, yeah. Like I want things that are meant to smell. Like can you imagine making yourself a meal and it smells like nothing? Like even I'll eat plain rice sometimes, totally plain, and it has a smell and a taste.
Yeah.
I'd be totally disinterested in uh well, I don't know. I bet I could enjoy totally
I,
flavorless. Not
I
not enjoy. Enjoy is the wrong word.
I've actually experienced that, like last year for a
Oh
bit.
yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah, that was kind of scary because I know you actually go out of your way to find uh, perfumes. So that,
Oh,
that that must have been like a really unpleasant patch.
well, it was a little strange. Like, I ate less,
Yeah,
but I did. I tried to, speed up my recovery by, trying to smell essential oils and remembering what they smelled like. It
really.
was very, yeah, it was very, yeah, because a smell is the sense most connected to memory.
Right.
So that's why also, being obsessed with scent is kind of a mark of genius, because it means you remember,
So
it's a sign of good memory, right? It
do
means
you
you
think
exercise. It means you like to exercise your memory.
yeah, maybe. Do you think like I don't know, putting essential oils near your nose, not being able to smell them, but like actively trying to remember what they smell like in any way assisted the recovery of your scent smell your sense.
I'd like to hope so. I'd like to hope so, but it's it was just like something I looked up, and it was like a suggestion. They're like, we think it might help, it's not guaranteed.
Like that
So
was like
I
a
just
studied response that came out sort of as a might do something.
yeah, because they actually haven't really studied it, because it was like I guess but they say it may help. So I just figured I might as well do it. I don't
Yeah,
if let's say you lost your hearing, right, and you could maybe if you might have a chance to regain your hearing by I don't know touching your ears like 10 times like for 10 minutes. It might help, might not, but you might as well do it, right?
sure. Yeah.
So
I think
but
it'd be better to have like robotic ears uh, uh, as opposed to the fragile ones that we have. Get on that, you
oh
guys.
that's yeah, it'll probably happen one of these days.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Imagine instead of people having ears, it was just more like they had the cups of headphones sticking out of the side of their head, and they were able to have a wider range and more uh, resilient, less fragile hearing.
I don't think technology is actually going to go in that direction, because the way our information technology has been going, it's been trending more into alienating people from their body, making the body like and sensory experience less relevant. You know what I mean? Uh, so that kind of technology where it enhances your hearing, I don't think that's going to be the main trend. They'll probably have that technology, but I don't think it's going to be widespread, because you're just gonna it's the only thing it's gonna do is I mean it's gonna help probably deaf people and and people hard of hearing, but I don't think it's gonna be a widespread thing in society, because it's like, why do I have to hear anything anyway, anything anyway in like in nature and in real world? It's more like it's more about creating like a separate world from the natural world, right? Where hearing is hearing and the way we do is not as important,
It took me a minute. You know, trending in a way that's detached from the body, and I think I kind of got it because uh, what technology seems to be trending toward is controlling spending, being able to further decide what people are going to spend their money on. It's trending for a particular uh, profit. It's like at a period of time, the American dream was sort of expressed in political marketing in terms of, if you have a job of any sort, you're going to be able to maintain a family, to the 80s greed is good mentality, which we still kind of have, we still have, to today, where you pay for these expensive experiences so you can share them with other people on social media. And I do think that we're being sort of led into a situation where people cannot afford the experiences anymore, but what they will be able to do is plug into this immersive experience where they're able to purchase aesthetic things for a character, an avatar that they've created, and they can share what they've
yeah,
purchased and the virtual experiences with other people. I think that that is the future thing.
yeah.
I think that, like, in
Oh
the social contract, that like, I will participate in exchange for this. I think that is what you're going to get. You're going to get, you can buy a plastic doll looking thing that you can puppet from your computer or headset, and you can share with your friends the pictures of the plastic puppet. uh, and the little nonsense things. You can't afford to go to Disneyland, but you can afford to have your thing walk around in a virtual Disney World, and you can share pictures of it with other people as they mindlessly scroll through it. That is the exchange that we're getting in the social contract in the future.
Yeah. Well, I think that's actually a perfect setup for the people selling it, because
well,
was
yeah,
it
no, they're
now
the ones
people, like
devising
regular
it.
people can't, well, the regular, regular people with regular jobs, they can't afford to buy real estate, right? However, it's now a big thing is buying real estate in virtual reality. It's not, I guess it's not a big thing, but it's starting, right? People are already like selling like plots of land and real estate and virtual reality. And the thing about land is it's scarce, right? Because you
Well,
can't make any more of it,
the
right?
land that they're
Whereas,
selling is going for lots of money. They're selling that to the rich people anyway. So it's not being
yeah, I
marketed
mean,
as you poor working people, you can no longer afford land, so buy this. It's instead, hey, you rich people, this is area is going to be populated by everybody, and people are going to have to pay you rent. So buy our land,
yeah.
this virtual land
Well,
from us.
I'm just, well, I'm just saying that, like, as you said, like back in the 50 years ago, you could, a lot of people can reasonably expect to afford a house at some point,
Yeah.
even with like a regular job. It's like now it's, for most people it's out of reach, right?
Well, yeah,
However, you
no,
can still
I
buy.
mean, they're talking about how prices are going up. That's related to the current system that we've got it relied on. The minimum wage has dropped from when it was first introduced. When you're talking about, like, it was just like a couple of bucks, but if you're talking about the value of money, it has dropped from the first point, and it has gone up and down a little bit, but it has not grown in decades. That have any job and have a family. That's been a very long time since the social contract was participate, and you get to be, I don't know, a full land owning, property owning member of the community. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, so so you agree that most people can't like afford to like ever buy property or
Oh,
a
sure.
house or anything like that,
No,
right?
no, you can't
But
afford
see,
anything.
where I'm, but
Like
that's why I'm
like
saying that
you,
this,
you buy a phone these days, and you have to be on a payment plan for the phone. It's exchanging debt. It's creating bills to everything you want to get. You want to get all the things that you need to access society with, and it's just I'm signing myself to be up indebted to all these different groups. It's not I can pay for it. It's I can put myself in permanent or long term debt to get it.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry. What are you saying?
but yeah, like what I was trying to say is that this is like a perfect opportunity for people in the virtual reality who own, because you can still buy, you can buy land in virtual reality, right? It But, and the thing is, virtual reality land, that's infinite supply, right? But people are still paying money for it, right? So theoretically, you can, let's say you own virtual reality, you can just keep on programming more land and keep on selling it. You have like an infinite. In theory, you can like make people. You can make as much land and sell it like infinitely. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean I get it. I know that that's going on. I think that we may eventually get to that point. Facebook kind of sucks, and this plan to get everybody plugged into their computer, I think they're eventually going to win, or rather, that motivation will win with somebody. But I think it's going to be a lot more difficult to move people over to that than they want. They just sort of want
Yeah.
a clean, okay, now it's not just log on Facebook, but it's like all your recreation time and movement is being plugged in, like that terrible movie Ready Player One. They kind of wanted to grow into that, but it's going to be kind of
Yeah.
messy. I think, like, we're selling land. I haven't been following selling virtual land, but I
Well, I
wouldn't
mean,
be
it
surprised.
doesn't have to be land, but
Well, like assets,
it's
it's going to be
it
assets,
could be anything.
but I think
Virtual virtual assets,
Yeah,
virtual commodities, right?
that's
You can like
definitely the plan. But by the time we get there, if we do get there, I think it's going to be like today and a couple years ago when they've been selling this stuff. That's not going to be included in the version of the future. I think as far as buying pretend assets, there's going to be a few things like people who are investing in a couple of the right cryptocurrencies. But as far as the totally made up assets, the future probably hasn't begun yet. They just want it to.
oh, no, it's already begun, as
No,
you said.
well, I know
You said
they're
before,
trying to enact the plan.
people are well, people are already like buying like
They're buying it,
things like for video games,
but they're
like
not.
costumes and
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm saying like like
Well,
that's
the process has begun,
that's the
but
way
it's
to.
like it's like this expensive online land is supposed to be, hey, you're buying this fake land for the future. And what I'm saying is, like, we've been doing the microtransaction nonsense for a little while now. All sorts of, like, they'll release a video game broken, and then even if it's fixed or finished, you don't get the full experience until they've charged you a bunch of money for different installments coming out. And then if you want to participate without having skill, or even if you have the skill, if you want to get certain assets, you got to be nickel and dimed, and everything does that. What I'm saying is that the land specifically is being advertised as permanent assets for a brand new world that people are about to populate. And I don't think that the assets they're buying are going to be in use. I think in the future, when they've established the worlds that people actually want to interact with in mass, then they're going to have permanent assets that people are buying, investing in, and are going to hold or increase in value. But right now, I think the virtual worlds that we're using are not going to endure into the virtual worlds that are going to capture people, that are going to give them what they need in the social contract to participate in society. I don't think that the land people are buying right now for the fake worlds are ever going to be used for the fake worlds that people are actually living in. You know what I mean?
I see. I think I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
I,
like
I mean,
I can see in the future
yeah.
is like a big crime would be to make new virtual things, right? So like let's say you're like let's say you make your own car in virtual reality. I think that would be a crime because uh that if everyone did that, then like virtual cars would be infinite and they would have no value, right? It would be kind of like counterfeiting laws.
Oh, sure. Like if you do World of Warcraft or whatever now, and you hack it so you have extra things, then of course that's going to be, banned and disallowed. It could not only destroy the in-game economy, but it could break the game if you're able to just develop your own assets out of nothing. Um, this exchange, like, I want to live on Facebook now and have that world, that is allowing Facebook to dictate the terms of your life and all the things that you use to experience it. So you're absolutely right. Nobody could just make new things anymore. They could only use authorized things. But that's kind of how it is in the real world anyway.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at the future from the present or something.
Oh, that's the
Visions of
only.
the future from the past.
Yeah. I
But
you
you go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, you're talking about where future technology is trending, like robots and stuff. All these like sci-fi movies or expectations of robots, because everything is about, we have to put out a product that can watch the consumer to constantly gather information on them, so we know better what to sell them. If you were to buy a robot, or if you buy a robot now, probably it's not an individual. It's going to be part of a big multi-tendrilled object, and you're just going to be dealing with part of it that is there to record you. So I do think that we could trend in a way like where people get robot ears and eyes and stuff, and the quality of the human life is improved as we integrate with technology. But because of the way that it's trending, our integration with technology would be the destruction of the individual, because we are essentially being piloted in a way that allows our spending to be controlled by those, we're buying products from. They want to put us on rails and tell us what we're going to be buying it. And I think if we were to develop technology in ways that it wasn't all just some big interconnected arm of the internet, it would be far more interesting. But like in 20 years, if you go blind and they say use our new smart eyes, the way we are
Oh,
trending with our technology, you'd be better off to be blind unless you don't mind. Well, no, that's probably an extreme example, but you would take on the eyes, and the eyes would be feeding you advertisements.
oh
They'd
yeah,
be
I'm
connected
pretty
to a big
sure.
network of
Like,
eyes.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like the more the better your insurance is, the less ads you'll have.
Yeah, but it'd still be access. Like everything's got to be smart. You cannot buy a brand new television anymore without it having the capacity to look back out at the screen at you. Uh, Everything has to be
Oh,
smart and
oh,
interconnected. And this thing that is used, that they have come up with for their own benefit, is being described as a positive feature. We're having access, everything is
oh.
accessed and connected. And so it's, you might not be fed uh, advertisements, but you're still giving away your privacy to companies that are tailoring their message to be more receptive to you, and you to be more receptive to their message. So even if you've got better insurance, your eyes are still collecting data for the people that you bought the eyes from.
Yeah. Well, as they say, if something is free, you're the product.
Well, that's
But
absolutely true, but you're the product anyway. Do you and I, whether or not we're on Facebook, Facebook is still collecting data on us and they're able to sell it. Even if you pay for something, you're a product. So that old adage, I mean, it's certainly true, but it's leaving out a very important part, is that we're the product anyway, irrespective of whether uh, we pay for anything. We're just going to be the product.
oh, but you know what? You talking about smart eyes and like those robot ears
Yeah.
made me think of something. It'd be funny is like let's say you get like smart eyes, right? And then you like you're and then anytime you do anything like you're like a dissident, the government, whoever's in charge, can shut off your eyes until you get back in line.
Yeah. No, I mean
That'd be a kind of a cool like cybernetic future, like what I'm saying, like
well,
every like
yeah,
let's say they live in like a future you're thinking of where everyone has like robot ears and like, enhanced eyes and all of that. So anytime you step out of line, they can just like shut those down. And they could always claim it's like it has nothing to do with it. It could be shut down for maintenance or just like some sort of because how nothing really works well. It could just be like, they could just say, oh, we're having trouble with the server or something,
yeah.
you
Well,
know,
I mean,
and then they can.
it's an interesting area for science fiction, but like it's not the government. The government
Yeah.
is like we're actively creating untouchables by allowing certain companies to have total domination of market and operate with very little check.
What,
Like I mean,
what was it?
it could be the government at some point because it's got married in, like the money that people are paid to be able to afford to run is more valuable than actually what the voters want, since they're going to choose between two groups based on what their values are and what they think the lesser evil is. But it's not like our elected representatives are going to start puppeting us. We have chosen our puppeteers. It's like that South Park episode a little bit, where the Walmart comes into town and destroys all the business, and then at the end there's a sequence where they're only going to support the lower business, and that business gets really huge, and then they burn down the local shop because it became a new Walmart. It's like the Ghostbusters, you know. Try not to think of a thing. We have chosen the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You know, we've decided our own future. We've decided who is the untouchable, who are the new feudal lords of our future cyberpunk dystopia, our new Blade Runner. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty interesting you brought up the South Park episode with the Walmart,
Yeah.
because that brings up I don't want to get too political on this podcast, brings
Yeah,
up like
I did enough of
the
that.
main problem. Yeah, the main problem of like capitalism is that capitalism loves monopolies, right? The system of
Oh yeah.
capitalism inevitably leads to monopolies. That's why there's so many rules to prevent monopolies,
No, no,
So
you're
uh
absolutely right. A free market eats itself. It's like a bunch of
yeah,
organisms, and if they're not kept from eating each other, then the competition breaks up. It's like what Amazon did to diapers.com. Things don't want competitors. A business's prime
yeah,
concern as an entity, to quote Mitt Romney, corporations are people, my friend. Um, what these people do, these non-people entities, their sole thing is to win. So it's not just beating the competition, it's eliminating the competition. And so if you can trade back and
yeah,
forth in regulatory bodies, or if you can undersell smaller groups so they can't participate, if you can do anything to prevent other people from rising up to participate with you, like
yeah,
capitalism works if it's chained down, if they're not allowed to become monopolies, not allowed to harm people or the environment, if they're not allowed to destroy the whole market just for their own benefit. Um,
yeah.
see, there I am getting political, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I think it can be a great tool to be harnessed for advancement. It's something that needs to be tightly regulated, or it's going to eat itself.
Yeah, like capitalism. Yeah, if you don't want it devolving into movies, you have to have a lot of laws. Like there's a law, say like where if you make movies, you can't own a movie studio. There's like all sorts of like crazy, like all sorts of laws. It's just in order to prevent that. But those South Park guys, like how they're libertarian types, right?
I think they've actually said that they're not libertarians, but they do have sort of that same appreciation for freedom of speech. They do seem to be what's the term? I don't know, but yeah no I know you mean.
Well, because I remember, no, I thought they like then they have like episodes like where they said that the reason that Starbucks is so ubiquitous is because it's good, right? So they deserve Starbucks, like places like Starbucks, they deserve to be like the biggest coffee places because they're good. Then they
I
have like
don't.
an episode about that.
They very well may have. I know what's his bucket. I can't think of his name, but he
Trey
called.
Parker, Matt Stone.
No, it's a talking head partisan figure, but he referred to them as libertarian, and I believe that they said in some kind of interview or yeah, the social media statement that they're not libertarian. I think that they have commonalities with certain mindsets, but I don't believe that they are inclined to. I don't wish to speak for them because I don't know them, or but
Uh,
I believe that one thing that I think that they're more like equal opportunity in speech. They're more in pointing out the BS in everything, and they're not strict adherents to any particular ideology. I think that they're more practical vulgarians, just sort of pointing out what's wrong, and occasionally there's a moral message, but I don't think that they're trying to tell you that a specific ideology is a correct ideology.
that kind of yeah. I always like for some reason I always thought they were like anarcho capitalists. That kind of kind of destroys my whole point because like they could see because you were talking about that episode where they destroy Walmart and another store
Yeah.
becomes the new Walmart, right? why would they be like anarcho capitalists if that's the if they could see that happening, right? If like like do they actually want a future where like just, huge monopolies, because they know that's what's going to happen if it's like an anarcho capitalism, but if they're
Well,
not anarcho capitalists,
no,
it's not really
I don't think they're
a
idealists. Apart from as concerns like freedom of expression and individual rights, I don't think that they are really pushing a political agenda, but just sort of commenting on it. And sometimes they will say something specific, at least to where I've been privy to. I believe I've heard in interviews that they fully intended to sell out as soon as it was possible for them to sell out because they just wanted to ameliorate themselves. But they seem to be expressing it in a tongue-in-cheek way, recognizing fully that what they would be doing by selling out would be, morally dubious. I kind of see them as I mean, a little moralizing, a lot of nihilism, a lot of Bulgarian stuff, but not trying to say this is, oh, come on, you guys, just pay attention to this and it'll all work out. Like they do a couple things like that on occasion. Like I remember an episode where they said that the PC principal was obnoxious, but basically had the right idea or was on the right side because he was a defender. I remember in the Osama bin Laden episode where they said, if you're not with us, then get out. Kind of a pro. So occasionally they will kind of say this is what we feel, but I get the impression, and they may have outright said this, that generally they do not want to tell people how to feel and act, but rather just point out what's stupid and doesn't work. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, you, uh, but I think they do. Even if they proclaim that they don't have an ideology, I think it's all art is inherently ideological.
Oh, sure. Like
So there's like some sort of they've got like a message, even if
they,
they're not aware of it.
I think that they're aware of it. I think it's kind of like I was watching an interview of George Carlin with Charlie Rose, and he was talking about how he's got no agenda. He's not, or not no agenda, rather. He doesn't care about what's happening. He's washed his hands with the human race. However, his shtick was pointing out the problems. And if you didn't have any kind of investment in the future that those problems are going to cause, then you wouldn't bring them up as problems. You wouldn't point out the ugliness
Yeah.
if you were totally divorced from their being and ugliness. I don't think it's more, I don't think it's like, here's what the answer is, here's what I believe, here's what you should do, but more, here's what's wrong, here's what's bad, here's what's stupid, here's what doesn't make sense. And there's a certain implied morality in that you're recognizing a problem, but it's not offering any answers. It's more honest, pure, and easy in a lot of ways than answering, or rather than coming up with solutions. Like, anybody can bitch all day. It's difficult to actually do something about it, but it takes an amount of hubris to
Yeah.
say this is the way we should be doing it. So I think that the moral philosophy is like, look at all these things we're doing wrong. I think that it starts and ends with that. I think that it's look at how stupid we are. Look at the crazy things we're doing. I don't think it's saying here's how it should be. I think it's saying here's how it is. And there's a morality implied by that, but it's not an answer. It's just sort of like an insult.
Yeah, it's a very lucrative way of doing things, that's for sure.
It's easy. That we've done that several times. It's easy to just bitch and gripe about. What's difficult is to come up with
I
something that
you know I
works
like
and
to
then try to convince other people that it's the right thing to do, or to just fix it
yeah.
yourself.
Well, I like to think that this, like, we do complain about the state of the world, sometimes on this fine, show, but I like to think that we're actually doing something by bringing awareness, right, to the problem,
Oh well, no, we're
right?
heroes.
Like if enough
We're here.
people
We're
would,
heroic.
if we bring up like these problems and enough people listen to it, eventually someone's gonna be like, hey, I didn't know this was a problem, but I know what something can be done, and they do something. So we're kind of like we're the catalysts of the revolution.
Well,
You know.
if there's a revolution, I would say that it should be uh, taking away individual money from politics, so that politics serve money instead of people. It should be public funding wholly, so that it is only the message of the politician that is going through. That's one thing. So the people actually have a choice. I would have proportional representation, and I think that the society should go hard into pro-human scientific development. There's a lot of positive, or not that it's people need to be able to try and make money marketing and come up with new products and compete and all that stuff. That is fine, but we should be urged in a direction that does not diminish what the human is, but rather enhances its ability to live. uh, right now it's make money at any cost, and it should be everything for things that advance human life. I don't think we should be at all considered to be totally free as long as anybody is in any kind of enslavement. I don't think we should all be considered to be happy or healthy as long as there are people dying for want of basic necessities. I think we need to look at human suffering and try to see what we can do to fix it, not
Well,
being
the
solely
answer
is blowing in the
the
wind.
answer to that, no, the answer to that is basically having the economy directed by the government, not by the markets. That's basically the answer, is because all that stuff will exist because if the market is in charge of the economy, then what's being made and like how things are distributed, that's going to be all to serve people who make the money. So you have to have like and you don't know if something that will benefit the markets is going to benefit people in general. So the only way to ensure that like the economy actually benefits people is if it's been planned to some extent by the government. But that's a bit too political for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I apologize for anything that's gotten a little bit too political. Anybody who openly or unopenly or in any way disagrees or is uncertain about what we're saying, your opinion is, we're not against you for having an opinion. But I tend to
Yeah.
agree that what we need is the freedom of the individual, not the freedom of non-persons that are unfairly given. Like the whole reason why a corporation is a person is because somebody subverted the meaning of an amendment that was meant to give formerly enslaved people the right to vote, and they snuck in there.
Mhm.
Oh no, these businesses are literal human beings and entitled to human rights. They are not. The human beings are entitled to human rights. Human suffering is what is real, not the inability for a business to prosper at any cause. A business should be able to get huge. An individual should be able to get fabulously wealthy if they deserve it, but they should all be paying their fair share. You're absolutely right when you say that there needs to be hefty regulation on these bodies, or else it's going to be the bodies, these non-person bodies, dictating how society is run. Not a government for the people by the people, that has a society that is fully dedicated to them, but rather people at the top being traded back and forth between these organizations and able to give any amount of money to individuals that are running for office and totally able to dictate the terms of society. Right now, we are operating in a way that is just meant for short-term financial gain of those who already have everything. If it were, the government is heavily regulating the market, and we want the market to do well. We want progress to be made, but not at the expense of the people that live on it, and not at the expense of the world that they live on. That doesn't make any sense. that
I mean,
we
yeah, if
would
the
have.
market is in charge of if the market's in charge of the economy, like
That
they're
doesn't
not
make
going to
any
run the
sense.
economy in the way that to what doesn't make any sense.
Oh, the market would be totally in charge of the economy because all the market wants to do is make money as individual participants of the market.
Yeah,
It's not
there's
interested in
you know
people unless it can profit from people.
yeah, I mean, like if people's like quality of life improves or not is not relevant to what it decides to do, you
Yes.
know,
No,
as long as it makes more money in the next like few months, they'll probably nuke the moon or something, right?
yeah,
But
the
yeah, so
places in
like
the
if
world that are the
anything, like the effects
happiest, the
on
healthiest.
people's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah,
What are you saying?
I said like the effect on like on people is like incidental to what they do, you know.
Yes.
So it's like but you say like the happiest people or like you know the best, like we were saying something about like happy
Well,
people,
yeah,
they
you know,
exist.
if you look at where the land is the cleanest, where the people are the happiest, and the people are the healthiest, it's not just the countries that are the wealthiest, but it is the countries that are well regulated wealth. So it's not getting coagulated, so that the roads are falling apart and people are dying on the streets, but rather it's filtering through. It's everybody can go to school, everybody has access to medicine, everybody has access to getting a job. People can live in Scandinavia. If one of your parents is a doctor and the other parent is a lawyer, if you work as a cashier at the local grocer, you're going to have a quality of life comparable to your parents. And there's still fabulously wealthy people over there that are captains of industry, but there's not such a huge difference. And those people at the top are not benefiting at the expense of people at the bottom. Um, you know, I don't mind some things doing really well and fabulous, even disgusting, extravagant wealth. That's none of my business. But when it,
I mean, I think like people should be as rich as can be as long as their wealth does not come from
yeah,
exploiting people, right?
that's
Like if
exactly
you
right.
let's say you have an invention that helps people, of course you should be like compensated, you should be like very rich, but I don't think just for like moving money around and exploiting people you shouldn't be rich for that.
Well, yeah, you know, even if you're in a cutthroat corporate environment where you're not supplying, any real help, but you're not hurting anybody. If you maintain that you're fabulously wealthy, but everybody who, like the lowest of the low is just sort of people in the middle class who have access to everything that they need to live, and then if they have children, the children could follow another path. I don't want Johnny Depp to be able to go and buy islands, but really that's none of my business. I don't care. The fact is that I live in a country where somebody at the same time they can just go buy an island, and another person in another place. It's not just that they are going to have choices that are going to lead them into suffering and poverty, but their children were, and their children will, and there's no help or escape. It's just lopsided. And there I go saying some incredibly ugly political things. I apologize. I'm tired. I had too much to drink. I don't mean to subject to. Uh, so
Oh,
I'm sorry
the
to our wonderful listeners
Paul,
of
I,
varying beliefs, and I'm sorry to you, George. Gosh darn it.
yeah, we should like, be the podcast that does not take a stand on anything. We have no opinions on anything that matters, right? We
Well,
should
yeah,
not be, we should not
no.
say anything that could offend anyone in any way. That's my vision. You know,
Well, no.
we
I
should
mean,
say like,
everything we're saying is things to improve. Human. We are very much advocating for the human. And if somebody just flat out disagrees with us, I don't want them to, be browbeaten for it. And we're just sort of speaking off the cuff. So we're not throwing a whole lot of studies, ideas, or practical responses into it. So, people can have different opinions. I don't think we said anything that denigrates anything other than individual ideas. And if somebody has a different idea than us, then they're, welcome to it. I mean, should
yeah.
we
Well,
should we
my
be offending anybody if we're not doing direct attacks on people, but just ideas and preferences? Like,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like we probably shouldn't be offending people, but I'm pretty sure people will be offended, Anyways,
Well, then we just made a horrible error. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry for any disagreements that may have
yeah.
ruined your day.
Well, I'm pretty sure, that's actually is if we get attacked, it's a sign that we're doing something right because at least that means someone's listening, So
Yeah, I guess to
at
that
least that
extent.
means our listener engagement is high, so that's good, you know.
Yeah,
But well, I say the solution is if like the world was run by me as like king for life,
you know.
that would solve a lot of the problems.
Well,
Like
all
for
right.
my first order of business, it'd be
Uh,
legalizing dueling.
this yeah, let's get back to this real soon because we're over and I'm still in a crunch. But the first thing
Yeah.
that we should bring up next time is that you are encouraging others to crown you ruler of the world, primarily, or at least as a first thing.
That'll be
Uh,
my platform. Yeah.
yeah, legalizing duels.
Yes. Well, we'll just, we'll live in a more honorable society, an honor-based society, and then that would have like trickle down effects to life in general.
Oh yeah, no, I've always said the best way to run any kind of an organization is to trickle down, all the other things you need to participate and survive and enjoy. Because if the people at the top have enough, they it's just gonna trickle down. They're gonna need goods and services from the people at the bottom. So, if you are queen bitch of the universe and you're allowing all the duels, of course it's just gonna, everybody else is gonna be brought up as a result of your immense power.
Yeah.
Say
Power
some
and
not
wisdom. That's
yeah. Let's end this on a note that doesn't just piss people off. Talk about some
yeah.
unrelated stuff, George. Totally unrelated.
Well, obviously, like what I like to do every episode. It's called shout out
Yeah,
section.
I don't think you've done a single shout out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna shout out uh Racine, Wisconsin.
Oh my goodness. Tell us about
Yeah.
Racine, Wisconsin. I bet it's a beautiful place.
Oh, I don't really know too much about it, but I just know it exists.
Yeah, well, we clearly don't know enough about it. I like it already.
How about Quincy, Florida?
Oh, those people over in Quincy are the best. I just hope they have wonderful lives.
Hondo, Texas.
You guys too, Hondo. Uh, all the best. Hope everything is going well for you in Hondo.
Prudhoe Bay, Alaska.
Oh, those
Now those
guys,
people need a shout out.
they need a shout out. There's some cool campers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty tough out there, but they're surviving.
Hey, Alaskan people are tough. They're hardy folk. They're pleasant people. Uh, just the best.
Oh yeah,
I
there was
didn't
this
I didn't mean that sarcastically. I wish them the full best. Alaska's probably a really cool state.
there was like this thing that like a couple weeks ago, this video, there was like there's this possum and that was running loose in the bar, and everyone was like running around scared. This is New York City, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like running around scared and like crying, whimpering. And this lady, she's like, I'm from Alaska and I can do this. She basically grabs the opossum and like tosses it outside. That's the that's the Alaskans have a can-do pragmatic attitude that's admirable.
I know it is. I've actually thought about moving to Alaska. Do you remember that movie with Robin Williams, Insomnia?
Yes, is that oh yeah, with the Al Pacino?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I, I watching that movie, apart from the various unfortunate occurrences within the movie, I thought that that looked like a great place to live. Like there was a local bar in town. I don't go out much anyway, so a long period of darkness would be fine. I'm a fan of shades, so I don't mind if it's light all the time. And the guy was just able to live a fairly solitary life as a writer for low expense in his own home. It he was a murdering pervert, but that's just for the movie. And Al Pacino couldn't sleep, but again, that's just for the movie. Um, I've actually found some appeal in thinking that it'd be nice to move to a small place in Alaska and just write. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I always thought of you as a Maine guy.
I I'm a fan of Maine. Yeah, I don't know.
How's it going, Portland, Maine?
Yeah, no. I'm sure I'd enjoy that quite a bit. It I don't know. It's nice and green. I think I'd go someplace that has a tendency to be dark and cold, but Portland, Maine, probably has sweet air much of the year, and the food must be fantastic. And I like green environments.
Yeah, Maine. If you like cranberries, Maine's the state for you.
And who doesn't
Cranberries and
like cranberry?
lobster.
Those things are
I don't know.
delicious. They're good for you.
I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I didn't have the palate to appreciate cranberries. Too, it can be tart.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kids just like super sweet and nothing else. I like tart
Yeah,
things.
sweetness without dimension.
Yeah, yeah. I've fallen away. I don't like just like your sugar candies. I like chocolate, but sweetness, as you put it, well put, without dimension, is I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. Well, one more shout out, Lewiston, Maine.
Lewiston,
Hope you guys are
Maine.
doing well. You got anything? Lewiston, Maine. Yep.
Lewiston, Maine.
You
That's
you have. Oh,
just you
you've
what?
been there, right?
Uh
You've been out there, right?
oh well, could be. I get around.
Yeah.
Right. I did at one point. Uh I hope I wasn't too lopsided today. There are a lot of ideas nobody knows, but we all just sort of want the world to work for people. Um, and
Yeah.
all the shout outs and more. Just want things to go well, and I want to go to bed early tonight, and I don't
I
want
gotta
to.
eat.
And I want to eat. I want to eat something. I haven't eaten
Yeah.
much today, and I drank a lot
Haven't eaten.
yesterday.
Haven't
What?
had a crumb of food all day.
You haven't
I
had
haven't eaten a
anything?
crumb of. No, not. I've had like water.
Well, let's
Yeah.
uh let's hop off these chairs and waddle over to some sustenance.
Yeah. Well, everybody, this is George. This is for all the G fans. Keep it G style.
Yeah,
May the G force be with you.
yeah. That was George, everybody. That was George, and will continue
And
to be at a later date. Uh, he's yeah. Uh, so take care, everybody.
all right, take care.